topic of today is something very, will I call it? Personally, to me, it's becoming annoying. So I just thought that well today I'll come and talk to you guys about it, and it's about Lagos buses, what we popularly call Danfo. I mean, everyone has been in the bus. Almost everyone has entered that bus in Lagos. I'm not talking about this bus, which is the BRT. I'm talking about the Danfo buses, yellow, black stripe. So about these buses, well, when we talk about buses, we usually complain about the drivers, if not the drivers, the conductors. But for me personally, this set of people, they are the ones that actually make my journey quite taxing and annoying at the same time because of the things they do. I'm talking about me and you. I'm talking about the passengers. Yes, we are quite annoying and we have our own different annoying personalities. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to bore you with all the details of how this happened, how that happens. I'm just going to stay on what just four basic kind of passengers that actually piss me off when I get into a bus. If you leave your 9 to 5 and you wake as early as 4 to 5 a.m. to go to work, there's a high chance you encounter one of these set of persons on your journey. So without further ado, guys, here's the guy. Let's get into the video. Number one, well, the noisemakers. These ones, I think all they do is wake in the morning and decide to disturb the whole bus with their noise. You're leaving your house, you wake up as early as 4:30, you get into a bus, and a guy or a girl walks into the bus with their speakers on. They'll sit down close to you and they'll play the movie or maybe music or whatever. They will just do that. And if you're probably trying to catch a bit of sleep before you get to work that morning, forget about it. These people will entertain you to death. Some of them, when you get to a bus stop where passengers go off and a new set comes in, from there you even see them with their speakers and you see them bopping their heads and listen like, oh, okay, they are God's gift to the bus. They have to entertain every single person out there. People don't need that. People are tired. People are frustrated in Lagos State. Why do you have to bring that noise to the bus? I don't know why I do that, but this set of people annoy me particularly. These are the number one people on my list, and it's annoying. If you're one of those persons, please get an earphone. It's not a must you get an AirPod. Get an earphone. Earphone, it should be around 1,000 naira, I think, at least the cheap ones. You can use that. I mean, put the thing in your ear. If you want to blow out your eardrums, you're free to do that. It's your life. Well, number two, people that, well, don't tickle your nostrils with a pleasant smell. So, in my defense, I don't blame these people. I mean, Nigeria is hard as it is. Lagos particularly is overpopulated and times too hard than other areas in Nigeria. I mean, for one, we hustle in other areas, but in Lagos, we could call it hustling, but what we actually do is suffering. But who cares? I mean, first is, I don't have an issue with them, but I know, yes, you can't buy roll-on. Yes, it might sound surprising to some persons, but roll-on is quite expensive. If you look at the average income of an average earner in Nigeria, maybe a bricklayer or something, not to say those people are not actually working for their money. Roll-on you could get for 1,500. In some areas, you can actually get it for 2,000, and maybe, just maybe, some can't afford it. But then there are perfumes that they sell for 500. And well, if you can't afford that, just have your bath twice a day. I mean, make sure you shave, get the hair out, and shave at least. Not when you get into a bus, you're tired from the previous day's work, you're entering the bus, and then once you sit down, there's this thing that just blows past your nostrils, and it's like you can't unsmell it, if I'm allowed to use that. It smell just attaches itself to you, and even when the person is long gone, you can still perceive it. It doesn't speak well. So as much as you're complaining about bus drivers, bus conductors, these guys too don't really make the journey a kind of smooth experience for a lot of persons. So I just thought I should talk about that. Number three, these ones are the perverts. Before I get into, from the word alone, you know what these people are like. And I must say that, yes, we have male and female perverts, but from my own experiences that I've seen, mostly guys act that way. For example, a guy, you're sitting at the back of the bus, right? A girl is sitting in front of you. For whatever reason, your knees are touching her butt. I feel the least you can do is, oh, okay, tell her to adjust, or if you can adjust, you adjust. I can understand if there's no space in the bus and it is what it is. But some guys will now deliberately put their knee on the girl's bum. Like, dude, do you want to jerk off with your knee. You just drop your knee there like, oh, okay, maybe she's feeling your knee, she might get turned on. I don't get where that, like, where the adults will just put your knee there. And because it's a public bus, and maybe the girl now turns to give them this look like, oh, dude, you should know that you should adjust. They will pretend as if they don't know what's going on. Before you start saying, yeah, girls do their thing too. Like I said, my experience, mostly guys, we are the ones that do that. And I've seen this happen personally, and it's annoyed me because sometimes these women can't even say anything because they will now tell them, give them this vibe of, oh, it's a public bus, oh, I can't adjust, yeah, my leg is not. We get that. I'm just saying, all things being equal, you're fine, everything's fine, you can adjust or you can tell her to adjust. Either way, it works. You don't have to put your knee on her bum. I don't know what you get out of it or how that adds to your manliness, but dude, if you're one of those persons, adjust. What, it doesn't take anything from you. This, and some other areas of these behaviors, you're staying with a girl, the next thing you want to start touching, as they call it, tapping currents. You want to start touching or doing stuffs in buses. Some people have posted online, some people have talked about, some have complained about it, but these are one of these things that actually just piss people off.
Let be poor. Breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
And lastly, these people, well, before you fanatics come for me, I don't have an issue with them. I go to church, yes, I'm a praying man. I'm talking about the preachers in buses. That's the last people I want to talk about. These guys, I don't have a problem with their religion. What I have a problem is, you go out in buses every morning, you don't read the room, you start preaching. Why? If you're entering a bus, I'm not against you want to preach, you want to convert people, it's really none of my business, but respect people, because if you're saying that's what you're called to do, I'm 100% sure you can't do that in the UK or the US or Russia, you'll be arrested. So that's a different argument. You get into buses and the next thing you do, you start preaching. There are people in that bus that just want to get 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes of sleep. Out of the maybe 12 persons in the bus, you have like 11 who are Muslims, because whether you like it or not, you preaching to them is probably, to what it sounds like to them, is, oh, you're saying your religion is better than mine. And I'm very sure you can't do that in places like Sokoto or Ilorin. Why I'm just like, maybe I'm talking about Christians, because I've never been in a bus where a Muslim or a traditional worshiper or some other religious person stands up to preach. That's always been Christians who would come and talk to you about their God. And sometimes they'll try to pacify the Muslims by saying, you pray to Allah and you pray to God and you still go ahead. Dude, that doesn't work. Like, it's old news. How they interpret it. Read the room, for goodness sake. You enter the bus, you keep quiet. If it's you and one, if it's one-on-one with a person, good. Not just that you will just start preaching. And most people are tired. They don't. Some people, out of 12 persons in the bus, for example, you could have like two who would maybe emphasis on maybe just listen to you. The rest person, they are not listening to anything you're saying. You're just preaching to the choir at that point. And if they're not listening to you, I think that beats the whole point of trying to preach to them or trying to convert them to follow Christ, as you put it, which is really following your religion. But okay. So I know we said there's freedom of religion. You're free to do as you please, but then respect other people, because as much as you do it in Lagos State, you can't do it in other states and you can't do it in some other countries. So anyway, guys, you could say I looked for trouble or I struck a little nerve. I care and I don't care. I'm just saying it as it is. Let the passengers breathe.
Nice.